Hi, my name is Tanishq, and I'm super happy to have you on episode 1 of Snapshots. Today with me, I am joined with some talented filmmakers, starting with...
Hi, my name is Stacey. I'm a third year BFTV student at Sheridan.
Okay, what about you?
My name is Matthew Donkers. I'm also a third year BFTV student.
I'm Jacob Gamble. I'm also a BFTV third year. I make films, you know.
Films are cool.
Films are cool and films are great, and I love making them. And that's me.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Okay, so...
Let's do an icebreaker, all right?
Yeah, let's do an icebreaker.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
We were
do
doing
it.
some earlier today, me and Jacob, when we were at work during lunch, and we said, what is each person as an animal? So what do you think
Okay.
you are as an animal, Tanishq?
As an animal.
What's your spirit animal? Like, what are you? What do you embody?
I'm a chihuahua, right? Like,
Okay.
chihuahua.
What about you, Isaac?
Okay.
If you were an animal.
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot. It's tough. I always think of myself as a penguin.
A penguin.
For some reason. Yeah, because, like, I don't know, they're quirky. And I think I'm quirky in a way. I don't know, they're very smart, I think, and they're very quick, you know, they have to be, I think, as small birds. So, you know, I do think of myself as a penguin because I think I'm just kind of waddling my way through life.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me? I don't know. What did I even say earlier?
I said he was a koala bear.
You said I was a koala bear.
I see that.
But why
Koala
though?
bear. I don't know why. I don't know. They chose for me. I don't know what anything.
Well, what do you think you are?
I don't... A rat?
A rat?
Something like that.
that's not looking good on yourself.
No. A lion.
A lion.
okay.
Oh, because
Okay,
he's fierce.
okay.
Yeah,
Strong
yeah.
animal.
Got
that
it.
can
There you go.
Yeah.
Courageous.
Kill anything.
Okay, maybe not that
That's
violent.
good. Well, wait, what about you, Donkers? What animal are
Oh,
you?
what animal? Okay, well, I was told that I apparently give off golden retriever vibes, but I think people
Yeah.
just say that because I have blonde hair. I think it's just the hair. I don't think I'm necessarily a golden retriever, but I've been told a horse as well. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think?
You give off like jaguar vibes,
Oh, jaguar.
right?
Jaguar.
Right?
Okay.
Because-
Yeah.
That's kind of fierce though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kino Vision Productions. Again.
Well, I also think of you as like a leader.
A leader,
Donkers. So
okay.
some kind of animal that is like a really strong and firm
Okay.
with what they do. So
I guess like a lion.
yeah, sure, like a lion.
What did you say?
Mad Glaze.
Mad Glaze.
Okay, so number one, I'm really happy to have all of you here on the podcast.
We're happy
Well,
to be here.
thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this podcast, right, the reason I'm starting it is to inspire people to start their own films, to work on their own photo shoots. Now, all of us, we are people who have worked on projects before, right? And we have some experience in film, some experience in photography, but there are people out there who want to start their first film. There are people out there who want to go out there and do photography, for example. So why don't we start off talking about something film related? Right? For viewers who know nothing about film, how would you introduce them to the world of film?
Like making films.
Yes.
That's a good question. Well, I think, like, I guess probably all of our experiences, we probably started when we were pretty young. So a lot of that was, I don't know. I started out doing, like, little iMovie trailers, if you guys are familiar with those.
I did that as well.
So it was, like, I don't know, I guess, like, telling a story. And I guess that's kind of how, I mean, like, really film is what it is just you're telling a story. But it's just a visual medium. And you're using that, I guess, that language to tell that story.
Yeah.
So at heart, like, we're all storytellers, I would say.
I think so. I think if you're not ready to go broke, then don't even get into it. Try.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's a devotion, right? Like, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like
All or nothing, really.
if you're gonna go into it, it's got to be what where your heart lies, I guess.
Yeah.
In it to
Yeah.
win it.
I don't know. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I-
Because when it comes to film, what I feel the most important thing in film, right, is the writing, because that's the base. Because once you get a good script, once you get a good story in there, then everything stems from that.
Exactly. It's like when you're building a building, you need a good foundation to be able to build on the building. And
Yeah,
if you have a bad foundation, then you're not gonna have a good building, I guess.
Exactly.
And that's where the story is the heart of the film, right? That's why people watch it. Like, you can have really great cinematography and editing, but if the story's not good, people are going to click off.
Yeah.
Or leave the theater, I guess.
Yeah.
It's all about the writing.
Yeah, a big reason I got into film was because of writing. Because growing up, I was like constantly coming up with different like concepts and ideas for things that I wanted to see in the medium of film. You know, and like I have like documents on my phone and on my computer just filled to the brim with all these different ideas for stories and things I want to try. You know, and like it's always my gears are always running. You know, my head's always coming up with these new ideas that I want to try to, you know, put onto the screen. You know, so that's what I thought. Okay, that's probably something I can try to pursue. You know,
To add on to that, like I didn't actually think I was gonna go into film until I think it was my 5th year. Like when I was in grade 12, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and then I was in a few Comtech classes, and then. I don't even know how I landed on film, to be honest. Like, thinking back on it, I think I wanted to do something in media creation because I liked creating content. And then, I don't know, I guess I landed on film. Like, I guess makes the most sense to do film. Mm-hmm. And then I guess I got more passionate for it. Like, I was just an average person watching movies. Like, I didn't watch them religiously or anything like that until I guess I got to film school when I had to. But it was, yeah, I guess it was... I think for me, like whatever I'm passionate about, I think I'll do well in. So if I just put my heart to it, and then right now it's film. I mean, I don't know if that will change eventually, but right now I think it's film. I don't know. What about you, Jacob? How did you get into it?
I don't even know. I mean, like, yeah, everyone always says Comtech classes, and I didn't really even have those. I had these like trash tech classes where you had to like make HTML stupid sites and stuff like that. But
it was like web design almost.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I guess I watched too many behind the scenes featurettes and fell in love with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I even know some people in this area, like the GTA area, have film classes in high school, and I was like, I was like, that's not something we ever had.
In high schools, they had like green screens and like cameras and stuff, and
Yeah.
actual like they made stuff. I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
I went to like a Catholic secondary school. All they had was like how to write code. And that was cool.
Oh yeah, I did Comtech, but nothing like we weren't actually making movies. Like it was mostly Photoshop and learning how to use Premiere. Like we weren't making crazy movies. I mean, we did like watch movies, but nothing.
Did you make that? You made that the Bigfoot.
Yeah, if you dig really far into my YouTube, you might be able to find that.
Yeah, I did have a class in high school. I had at least one or two classes that weren't specifically about film, but were more kind of exploring like media arts, you know. And part of that was kind of discussing like how to build a story through, you know, visual mediums, you know, like, and you know, we used, I don't think we actually used cameras. We used iPads for that class. We used iPads to film what we for whatever our assignments were. But that was a pretty decent exposure I got to the film world. And I also another class I took was a photography class. So I got to learn a little bit about that side of showing, you know, I guess a certain way to show art through like a visual medium, which wasn't exactly film, but it was, you know, something.
What about you, Tanishq? How did you get into photography?
Well,
Because you're from where again?
I'm from India.
What part of India?
I'm down south. I'm in Chennai.
Okay.
So the way I got into photography is I didn't know I wanted to be a photographer, right? My parents, they used to collect cameras, my dad. So he collected around 5,000 vintage cameras. So growing up, that's all I saw. But because I was surrounded by these cameras, I did not really see the beauty in it because it was like every day for me. It was normal for me. So even though I had all these cameras, I did not know that I wanted to be a photographer. I actually ended up taking a psychology course and dropping out because I could not study psychology. It was so hard for me.
Did you do it in India or?
Yeah, I did. But then what ended up happening is I really wanted to be a YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
And one day my dad calls me up and he says, hey, there's this YouTuber with 100,000 subscribers and he's visiting the place. You got to come and meet him. And I decided that day that I wanted to go and meet this YouTuber because I've never met a YouTuber before. And he ended up having a photography academy and he asked me to join.
Oh, wow.
And I joined and that's what started my photography journey. If I had never showed up that day, if I had never met with this dude, I would have never have been a photographer today.
So what do you think you would have ended up doing if you weren't in film or photography?
something that I probably wouldn't have been passionate about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because following your passion for me is like the biggest like thing in life.
Yeah, I mean it's better to fail in something you're passionate about than fail with something that you're not, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Who is the YouTuber that you met with?
He's an Indian photography YouTuber. He's
Okay.
called KL Raja Punsing. But what's cool about him is he's the biggest YouTuber in the state that I'm from.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
That's pretty
He's
good.
he's a really big photography YouTuber, and when I met him, he really taught me everything that I know about photography from the ground level.
Nice.
Wow.
And techniques that he taught me, I applied to Sheridan with the portfolio that I built in his program, and that's what helped me get into here.
Hey,
into
there you
Sheridan.
go.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Anyway, let's talk about stories.
Sure.
All right.
So, when we are writing a story, it's very important that we keep the plot in mind, right? Because instead of just having a normal regular story, if you have a plot, that's going to make your writing way more interesting. So, do you have anything to say about
I
plot?
think an important thing is to establish, I guess, for viewers what the difference between story and plot is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I guess, because they're usually kind of misconstrued the same thing. But, I mean, at least the way I view it, story is like what you're actually telling, and then plot is actually how you tell it. Is that? Would you guys agree with that?
I'd say so. I'd say so.
Yeah.
I tend to honestly forget the difference.
Yeah,
Like I know there
I-
is a
yeah.
difference between the two, but I often like forget. Okay, what exactly is it? Because I don't know. But sorry, did you want to say
I
something?
didn't
with
say
that?
any- I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I probably agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't
like-
really even have terms for anything I do.
Yeah.
I don't follow a lot of the script writing. I don't even know. I don't
Fair
know the
enough.
guidelines. I just.
You just go for
He
it.
just shits gold.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
professional.
yeah. No, I pretty much do the same thing, honestly.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. Is that what you mean when you say story and plot?
Well, when I say story and plot, right, I say a story is what you are trying to convey. A plot is what makes the story interesting.
Okay.
Okay,
So more so like the structure.
yeah, like the structure. Yeah. So what I think of a plot is what adds intensity to your film. It's what brings conflict into your film, right? So a great example is this story that I was reading about, and it's called The Alcoholic Boyfriend.
Oh no.
Okay, so The Alcoholic Boyfriend is basically, it teaches you about the basics of plot structure. So you have a boy and you have a girl, okay? The boy finds the girl super attractive, and he goes up to the girl and he says, "Hey, I find you super attractive. Will you be my girlfriend?" The girl says, "Yes," and they get married, and that's the end of the story. Now that's a story,
Yep.
right? But there's no conflict. The characters don't get into any conflict, so therefore there is no plot in the story. Now let's say option B, the girl says no. The guy asks why, and the girl says, "Hey, you're an alcoholic." Now there is conflict. He can't get the girl. So now he has a choice. He could either say, "Okay, I'm not getting the girl," and that would be the end of the film. Or he could say, "I'm going to work on this. I'm going to try to cure my alcoholism." And he can go on a journey that way.
Okay, I see. So like a story is more so a premise, and then the plot is the actual like conflict with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
But again, now let's say the girlfriend says, "Hey, you need to cure yourself. You're an alcoholic." And he just goes to alcohol recovery and he cures himself. And that's the end of the film. That's a really weak plot. It's because he had just one conflict and
Right.
it just cured itself out. What makes a good plot is there is raising levels of conflict. So the conflict, it intensifies as time goes on.
Yeah.
Right? So one conflict, it creates a branch of other conflicts until it peaks, and then it slowly comes and there's a resolution that's made. So that resolution, it could either be a good resolution or a bad resolution, right?
Yeah.
So now he's being an alcoholic, so now he has to go through the challenges of recovery. Maybe he does recover, maybe he doesn't. But at the end of the story, who does he become? Has his character changed by the end of the story? That's what makes a powerful plot. And I feel personally, because I've written my first film, I feel that if you want to make a good story, the characters has to change in some way or form in the story.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way it kind of goes, you know? But one thing that I always try to keep in mind when I'm working on whatever stories that I'm writing, like, I feel like there has to be, like, a reason.
Sorry, I hit my leg.
Like, I feel like whatever story, like, a writer is trying to tell, there has to be a reason behind why he's trying to tell this story, you know? Because, you know, somebody, like, for me, what I think is very important is that people don't just do something just because, you know? Like, if I'm
Sorry.
if I'm writing a story about, let's say, somebody really close in my family died or something like that, right? And it caused...
Yo, why are you guys laughing?
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Isaac hit his hand off the mic.
Okay.
That's
Anyway,
a terrible time
as
to
I
laugh.
was
That's a terrible time to laugh.
Wow, thanks, Donkers. Jesus. What a guy.
Sorry, as you were saying, a family member dies.
So let's say, like, for me personally, like, a very close family member passes away, right? And it leaves, like, a huge mark on my life and, you know, causes me a lot of pain. The way I would try to, like, cope or, like, to accept and move on is write a script about that situation. But, you know, like, either I would try to write it in an entirely different context. Like, let's say it's my grandmother who passed away. I would instead write about a character who maybe their brother passed away. You know, just so I can get, like, a bit of a different perspective on the thing that I'm going through, to allow me to kind of see, okay, you know, this is something that happens in life, right? It can happen to anybody. It's not just somebody's grandmother. It could be somebody's brother, you know? And I try to use, like, a story about that to, you know, go through the motions of what any singular character or person would typically go through. But I also try to add, you know, onto the story, like you said before about the alcoholic, was it alcoholic boyfriend?
Yeah.
The alcoholic boyfriend, there's so much you can do with that, right? Like, it's not just that he's trying to get over his alcoholism just so he can get the girl. There's probably layers upon layers of things you can do with that story, right? You can learn more about his background and why he had turned to alcoholism. Maybe something happened, maybe his brother died, right? Something like that, right? So just figuring out the different things that you can add on to the story to make it more interesting for your audience and more, you know, involved, I guess, in terms of, like, the types of things you want to explore.
I think the biggest thing, obviously, is having an interesting premise. Like, there's a lot of movies that come out that, you know, you kind of can predict the ending by basically the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you want to make something that not only subverts like expectations within its genre, but also I think, like, having things inside of the story that are interesting, that are different, right? Like, maybe you have one character that is, you know, a protagonist that you think is going to end up one way, but he ends up another way. And you know, adding kind of nuance and detail to each of the characters that are different than things we've seen before. I'm trying to think of an example, but I don't know. Instead of making, like, I guess you could look at films recently, like, how did they made the Batman different than Christian Bale's Batman and stuff like that. I mean, that's not the greatest example, but looking at how you can make things different, but also, you know, make audiences interested in the same thing. Like, I think genre films are fun because you have the conventions of a genre that you have to, you know, somewhat apply your films to, but you can also do new things within it, right? Yeah. And that's I think the fun part.
I think that's one of the biggest things I think about film is giving people sort of something they've never seen before, and, like, with all these, I mean, I guess you work in genre a lot.
Yeah.
But genre, I guess, it's very flexible, so you can sort of do anything with it, and then I think that's what sort of more people latch on to. It's when you like put more. I'm losing my train of thought here.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like when you sort of make it this new experience, something you like people really have never seen before. That's why the biggest phenomena in film and films in the modern day are mostly something that breaks from the mold, and that's what sort of takes off. And I guess that's the sign of a really good, I guess, filmmaker, is something where you can sort of carve your own path. And
transcend the genre or something.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, I guess that's something I want to, well, not I guess, I do want to do something like that with my films or in filmmaking throughout my career. Just sort of a new perspective, I guess, sort of making people see something they haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Like a new way of storytelling almost.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds kind of pretentious, but
No.
but like
telling stories that you've never seen before. Like I think that's when you were mentioning how do people come up with story ideas and how do you make people want to be interested in your ideas? I think you want to make the film that hasn't been done before. Yeah. You want to make the film that people haven't seen yet. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to make a film that people have already seen before, because then it's like what's any different about yours? Mm-hmm. So you want to make a film that's unique. It's uniquely yours, and it's your perspective, and get it out there. That's kind of, I think, the biggest thing for people that are want to be storytellers or want to be directors or want to be visual storytellers, even photography. Like take pictures that people haven't seen before. Take pictures of things that people don't really think could be a great picture. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah. I think to add to that, a big thing for me, like a big problem that I have to overcome when it comes to being a storyteller or a filmmaker or whatever it is that I have the tendency to start writing scripts for other people. Like I feel as though if I write a script my own way, in a way that makes sense to me and that's nuanced and unique to myself, it's going to come across as like strange to others. So I find myself getting into this position where I'm instead writing scripts for other people instead of just for me.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So you're saying like you sometimes when you're writing stuff or you're making things, you're finding that you're making it for the audience rather than yourself.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay.
But like it tends to happen for me like when I'm writing something for school, let's say. Like when I'm writing a script for core,
okay,
or when right now I'm working on a couple different scripts for portfolio, just kind of experimenting with what I think would work best. I find myself kind of writing in a way that isn't very good because I feel like if I write my own way, it's not going to translate either to the faculty or to the other students who are in my year. But I got to get myself out of that. I got to realize that it's not about them. It's about telling the story that's important to you. And of course you want to be able to like attract people to the story. You want to get people to become involved and to work on the project with you, right? So it's finding, I guess, a healthy middle. Finding a way to write the story in a way that is good for you and that works for you, but also helping others to understand your vision and helping others to understand, like, okay, why is it that you want to tell this story? How is this going to, positively or negatively affect people? Yeah.
I think the thing with that is, at the end of the day, it has to be entertaining. And like that's the biggest thing. And the thing, that's where like I get caught up on that a lot, is this sort of like really personal writing, like delving into really personal topics with yourself. You get too close. That's why you need to, I guess, people do period pieces and stuff like this, and sort of like ways to get away to how like getting that close. Because when you get that close, it's like, dude, like I don't want to know all that. Like, I don't need to know. It's just like it gets like a diary at that point.
Sure.
But like when you have to focus on showing something to people that's new, but also something that's relatable in a way, and like a universal sort of conflict that a lot of people can, I guess, latch onto.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel scary though? Especially when so many films are made, so many stories are out there. How do you find a film that no one's made before?
It's terrifying.
That's honestly the scariest part to me, because it's like, how do you... Because when you're writing about a personal sort of dilemma in your life or personal problems that you've had, what makes you sort of the guy who should be writing about this, the guy who should be talking about this? What makes your story so unique that you think that you need to make a film about it and people need to see that film across the world?
Yeah.
You need to, like, then that's why it's so important to have such like a like a new, unique perspective to these things, because if you come in just like everyone else, then they walk right past your film. They don't care.
Exactly.
So you need to come in with like some sort of like a vision, a truly unique vision, and if you're going to use your sort of like your personal, like, or if you're going to write about personal dilemmas like that, you need to bring something new to it. It's something entertaining, but also fresh, because there's like a million movies about people's problems in everyday life, but when it's something new, like, people want to see more of your stuff. People want to like look specifically at you, even if it is super personal like that. When you make something like that, people latch onto. They look past you, or I guess they look at you as a person, but they also like feel the movie, and it becomes like a part of their life, and it becomes like something they attach to emotionally, and then that's when it really works.
Yeah, I think to bring up stuff like that, I mean, all of us did our own like documentary core one. Just to explain, in BFTV, like year 3 during semester 1, we make documentaries, and all 3 of us, obviously Tanishq is in photography, but all 3 of us directed like our own personal stories about something that we deeply care about.
Yes.
So I think we can talk about that, and I guess like that's our voice for something that we all deeply care about. So I guess we can kind of build on that and like what that process was like.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
funny 'cause we did both. I guess. Well, yeah, we did both of ours about a family member.
Yeah.
And you did yours about, I guess, sort of a childhood experience.
Yeah, it was childhood experience. Like I don't have any familial attachments to the place that I made my project about, but yeah, it was still like something that was in a way very nostalgic and very personal that I was very attached to.
Yeah. And that's, I think, a whole different thing with docs. I mean, doc to me, it's a whole, like, I wouldn't say I'm very much a documentarian, but delving into docs.
I found it fun. It was fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's a very different way of filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's like coming in, you're only there for like a day. Like my shoot was 1 day long. And
Oh, wow.
We weren't even there for the whole day. Like we did the B-roll and the interview in 1 day. And it was about my grandma or my abuela. And it was very personal, but it was weird because I didn't really even see the film as it was getting made. Like when I'm coming up with a fiction film, I already have a vision for what I want to see. When I started the documentary film, I had a completely different vision with what I was going to do and what it actually became. Because when I sat down with my abuela, it was like completely, like the conversation went completely different places, and like it felt good, but I just didn't know what the film was going to look like. And then when it came together, that was that sort of moment.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with documentaries is that it's made in the edit, and I guess like you have to have a solid idea of what you want it to end up to be, and then you kind of work through like, you know, where's the story and like what can you use to tell that with the B-roll and with what they're talking about. But yeah, I think that was definitely for me. Like I initially knew like what I wanted to say, but like I didn't know. Like the interesting thing with documentaries is it's not scripted, right? Like like nothing going in there is scripted. So I didn't know what my grandfather was going to say. I didn't know what my mom was going to say. I didn't know what my uncle was going to say. But I knew that I had an idea of what they were going to say, and I had an idea of where we'd end up. But I think my expectations were pretty low, and at the beginning because I don't know, I didn't think that a story about my grandfather would be that interesting. But I think that as we went through it, and I think that really is the power of documentary. I think is that you can make things that are not really interesting, depending on what you show and depending on how you build it. You can make just about anything interesting. That's I think speaking to the power of film is that right there, right? Like even like you can make an interesting movie about a garbage truck driver. Like it's like it's that powerful. If you're effective, then you can make just about anything interesting.
Like
another thing, a powerful thing about documentaries is that it has the potential and the power to inspire people to take action on a particular topic. So let's say you're filming an activist documentary. Through your documentary, you have the ability to literally bring change or advocate to a particular side. And just by showing people in action, showing people taking part in whatever it is that you're trying to document, you inspire outsiders, you inspire the viewers to come up and be part of the cause that you're documenting. And that's something that's really powerful. We try to do that through documentary photography. We try to document, for example, pollution. There was Ed Brutinsky. He's a photographer. He shoots landscapes and he shoots man's impact on nature. So what he does, he shoots these massive landscape images, and the landscapes are always affected by humans, and he shows that through his photography. And I feel documentary, as you said, you don't know what's going to happen in a documentary. Everything is unfolding on the time, on the set. We have no idea. And we, in a way, become part of what it is that we are documenting.
That's true.
Right.
I mean, with you, Jacob, I mean, you were actually in the documentary. Same with you as well. Isaac, I guess both of you guys were in the documentary. So
Yeah.
how was that? Because I wasn't in my documentary. I wasn't speaking on camera, but you guys were both in it. And what was that like? Because I guess it was very personal. So you guys wanted to be in it, right?
Yeah.
So
To be completely honest, it wasn't even, I wouldn't say spur of the moment, but it was very much like a week before we did it. It's like, well, you can be in it too. And it's like, okay, I guess I can. Because it made sense when the actual edit came together. I was like, okay, I think it was a good choice because it sort of...
it's the relationship between you two.
It felt more... I think the vibe, I just wanted to get more of a sort of like homey, personal vibe. Like I just wanted to...
A conversation. Yeah.
That's why we had it on the couch. We had people just like, it was in like just my Wella's basement. And like we were just filming it like handheld the whole time. I just wanted to feel very, I guess, real.
Yeah.
And just having me there was just sort of a part of it. And for you, it's the film. It looked like it was more, I guess, I don't know. It was more, I guess, shot like it was like in the sequence that you sort of built to it.
Kind of, yeah. It was interesting because I literally like had an idea in my head, like when I started first conceptualizing the documentary, about just sitting with the person. So for context, the documentary that I made was about this sort of outdoor program for children who have a difficult time in the kind of general academic, or I mean secondary school, not secondary school, the public school education format. So like kids who have the tendency to struggle with that, they can go to this outdoor program and spend like a day a week there, and to just kind of have their time outdoors to kind of get energized and to feel a bit better about themselves. Like it's really a space for kids to feel more secure with themselves. And I went there for quite a while when I was a kid because I was homeschooled growing up. And it really like very much impacted who I was as a person. And I developed a very close relationship with the owner of that school. And I knew I wanted to talk to him for the documentary that I made about that place. And I had this image in my head when I was first planning for the documentary that I was going to talk to this guy. Like I was going to sit down with him on camera and talk to him. But the way things kind of fell into place when it was starting to get developed in school, it was more so that like we were going to be talking to the kids who went to the school and their parents, but we ended up also talking to a couple like of the mentors who went there and the owner himself, like I had hoped we would. And then I was kind of leading up to the shoot, I was talking to my producers and a lot of the key people on the project about how I had this kind of need that I should sit down with this one guy, the owner, because he was the one guy who really impacted my life a lot, and just kind of talk to him about my feelings surrounding the school. And that's what ended up happening. And we included that interview that I had sitting with him in the forest in the like final draft of the documentary. But it was also a very spur of the moment thing. And it was difficult for me too, because that place was like a place of such high value for me, and like just different things that I personally struggle with that I'm obviously not going to get into. But I did end up like tearing up at one point, and kind of emotions kind of overcame me at one point during that talk, which wasn't included in the final cut, obviously.
Well,
but
then that's
it
when
was
you know
very,
it's
yeah.
personal, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh, when you're overcome with emotion, yeah. But it was a good. I'm happy that I ended up, talking to this guy one-on-one, and that I ended up including myself, I guess, in the end of the doc. Yeah.
I guess that's what made you the best person to film this, is because you've gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
You have a deep connection with the subject matter that you're filming.
Oh yeah.
Right?
That's true.
How do people find these subject matters to film? if someone wanted to make a documentary, how do they find?
It's got to
a
come
topic?
from something very personal, for sure.
I
Like
think,
something that the filmmaker deeply, deeply cares about.
I think if
Yeah.
you want it to be powerful, then yeah, I think things that you care about, like when we're talking about why are you the person that should have that voice, and it's because you know how to talk about it, right? You know why it matters and why you should talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if people want to look at what they want to talk about, if they're doing documentary, I know we kind of moved to documentary versus film, but I mean they're very similar in a way where we're talking about visual mediums and how we can share a story.
Yeah.
And documentaries are sometimes even more powerful than film stories, maybe even more powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that people should just look at their own life. Like I said, like it doesn't need to be something larger than life. It could be something as simple as your grandmother or your grandpa or a school that you went to in the past. Those like things that you do in your daily life are important, and they can be really powerful stories to people. So I think if you're looking for, honestly, you can make a story about anything. It's just what it's like, what do you care about?
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Like, I know we were talking about writing before. The number one rule that writers, like professional writers who really want to, expand on their craft and work on it, the number one rule that's always suggested to them is write about what you know, because that's where you're going to find the most powerful stuff. That's where you're going to find your voice, is if you gotta write about what you know. You gotta write about stuff that you have a lot of knowledge about and stuff that you are very closely knit with, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is true.
Yeah.
And I think another thing about doc that I love so much, like, because honestly, a lot, like, I don't work in, or I do fiction a lot, but I know what to expect, I guess. I think I like how flexible documentary can get.
And how, I guess, unpredictable it is.
Yeah,
right?
unpredictable.
Yeah.
Because
Well, like,
it's not, there's no, I guess, narrative structure to it, right? There's structure to documentary, but it's
well, there's so much.
Yeah.
You can take it any place. Like, it can be more of an art piece than even like a documentary. Like, like I worked on All the Way Open, All the Way Down, which was
very experimental, right?
It was very experimental.
That was really
basically-
good.
Yeah, I loved working on it. Elle is an amazing director.
I know.
But, it was like, honestly, a lot of that process was just like they just went out and filmed stuff, and then it's like, okay, now let's make it into a film.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, and then
And you
it
had-
just became something completely different. It like evolved in front of us, I guess.
I mean, to be honest, with what we saw in Core 1 versus Core 2, I feel like Core 1 was showing more of different varieties of different ways
That's
of
the
telling
thing.
stories.
There was a lot more creativity on display with some of the films in Core 1 than Core 2.
Yeah.
Not to say that Core 2 films were like all creatively bankrupt or something, but there was a lot of the same sort of like drama story, like and I understand why.
It's almost like they gave us a theme.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's because I understand it's a lot of like taking the jump, because documentary can go anywhere and it feels more genuine because it's so personal to somebody.
And maybe it's because there's so many, we had so many documentaries versus how many narratives.
Yeah,
like it was,
true.
I think
it was half of.
A lot smaller crews.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are just like friends and who could just like sort of work together collectively on something that they feel very strongly about.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a lot more genuine. With Core 2, it's a lot of like, okay, we have to write a script for people to like, we have to make 7 minutes now of a script. And it can be personal, but it's also like, do we have time for that?
Yeah.
And also like 25 people are gonna be coming in here filming.
How quick can you come up with an idea in like 2 weeks?
I feel like there was definitely a lot more constraints in Core 2 than there were in Core 1.
Oh, you think so?
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
I think it was just, I think with docs it's a lot more. That's why it was fun to just sort of just like drop, like just go out and film and like not even have like a crazy plan or like a big plan to it. Just go out and film, and then you make a film along the way, and if people like it, and and that's fun. I think with making like a fiction film, it's like it's so much like, this person needs to be here. This person, like, we need to write all this. Where's the money? Like, where's all this? Like, it's,
when are we having the equipment meeting?
Let's talk to these people. Talk to these people. Find a location. It's stressful. It's a lot more stressful.
Oh yeah.
But it's fun. It's
It is
fun. It's fun.
and it's very rewarding.
We're not saying documentaries are more they're equally different, but they're the same at the same time. It's interesting.
The unpredictability for me is what I love about documentary.
Yeah.
And also the fact that anyone can film a documentary on whatever it is that they would like to document. For example, if you loves dogs, you can make a documentary about street dogs. Actually, that's what I did, right?
Oh, there you go.
My documentary series was on the struggling of Indian strays, right? The struggles of Indian strays in India. It was a photo series. It wasn't a series
Like a
with moving
documentary,
images. But
photography document?
yes,
I don't know what
yes.
you would call
Documentary
that,
photography is what we
so
call
that's
it.
what they call it?
Yeah. So I traveled all over India, from
And
the
took
south
pictures
all the
of-
way to the north, and I just took some of the most gruesome pictures
Oh, wow.
of street dogs in various
jeez.
different like conditions, right?
Yeah.
And the goal of the documentary is I wanted to be an advocate for street
empathize.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to documentary, especially the type of documentary where you make it for a particular cause, there are different approaches that you can take, right? As a documentarian, you can be an advocate to whatever it is that you're documenting.
Yep.
You can be a mediator. So you take two sides and you act as a mediator between both of those sides, right? So you can be an
Like a news
advocate.
anchor.
Yeah, or like a news anchor, exactly. So as a documentarian, if you are making a documentary, let it be photo or film, you get to choose which side you take on your documentary, what
Yeah.
perspective it is that you are trying to show through your documentary, and basically who is the audience. Are you making it for a group of people who are going through a particular problem, and are you helping that group of people, or are you making it for a general public so that more people just gain awareness on what it is that you are documenting? I feel like when you're approaching a documentary, approaching it with that mindset, knowing like who is my audience going to be, who
Yeah.
am I making this documentary for, what is the purpose,
Yeah. Right.
and what am I trying to say through my
Yeah.
documentary is very important.
That was a lot. That's a lot of the questions that we had to ask during the Core One productions. Like especially when we were developing the documentaries, those were questions we had to ask.
Like ask ourselves or ask the subjects?
Like ourselves when we were like
yeah.
planning it out and stuff, and you know the faculty was expecting each of us to figure out like why exactly we want to tell this story,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
what we hope to get out of it, and who we think will be most impacted by it. I guess.
It's interesting that you bring that up because I feel like at least for my documentary, I didn't have a set thing of what I wanted to say. I just wanted to, how do I say it? I wanted to portray what my family members were feeling, and let people distinguish what they wanted with that. There's a better way to say that, but I'm basically trying to say I put on the screen what was said, and I wanted people to come up with their own interpretation of what it was. Like I didn't have a set thing of saying this is what you should think or this is what you should take away from it. Which what I'm not saying is a bad thing if people have that, but it was more so an interpretation. I think having that news anchor approach of saying this is what I found when I did my documentary, and here's what you can take away from it.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach to take to it because it is something that, like, really you can't set in stone what you want to say, like, and just sort of having that sort of, like, I guess that because that's how I sort of approached my doc. I knew my abuela had this story to tell of her like immigration to Canada, how she got to Canada. And I knew, like, I wanted to get that on film, not even just because, like, I thought it would make a good Core 1 doc. I wanted to get it on because I knew she should tell this story, and
Right.
it should be documented, and I want to show it. And I didn't go in with, like, I want to say this about this.
Exactly.
Actually, I made the mistake of starting to do that, like, because that was my original concept. I was going to be, like, talking about, like the El Salvadorian Civil War or something, and it was supposed to be like a let's, like,
Screw communism kind of thing, or
not even like that. just like let's get a view of this event from like somebody who was there,
Mhm.
and it didn't become that, and that was good because it was sort of like it was a more personal story, and I just wanted to show that story, and it didn't go out the other like it didn't finish like it didn't. It didn't
pan out.
It didn't pan out to
Yeah.
like that sort of story of like a war-torn El Salvador. It sort of became like a sort of it's something that everyone can relate to, which is more
right.
of sort of like a family connection. What is your history, your heritage, and like connecting to that through like these stories of the past.
I think that definitely. I think that your documentary, when you're making it, it will guide you in what way it best works out. Like I think it. Like I mean, as I was going on, it just made more and more sense to go a certain direction, and it felt like very daunting at the beginning because it's like, oh my god, I have to I have to basically put this story on the screen, and I don't want to misconstrue like a family story. Like it's so, you have to bring that to screen, and you want to do justice to your family.
And that's another scary part of the documentary process is the like sort of like these are these people's sort of personal.
Exactly.
Like,
You're the orchestrator of a basically you're representing their story. They're
Yeah.
not telling their story. Well, I mean they are telling their story, but you're responsible you're responsible for making sure that their story makes it out there in the way that they intended as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I mean I guess there are people that do documentaries and they tell their story how they intend versus how their subjects intend.
There's
But
also a lot of like, and then your subject watches it and it's like
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
yeah, that's the best thing is it's not when the audience likes it; it's when your subject
Exactly.
likes it.
Honestly, you don't have control over how the audience is going to react to whatever
Yeah.
it is that you're creating. So just create it with the subject in mind and what is it that you want to document.
Exactly.
What is the message that you're trying to share with
Because
people?
that's the interesting thing. Because when when I initially I pitched it to my actual family, they were worried that I was going to represent my grandfather as somebody that was very negative. They were worried that we were going to portray him as somebody that left the family, that didn't care about his kids, and was an asshole basically.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest challenge for me, is finding a way that we can balance both empathy on both sides and allow people to say, hey, this life gets in the way and stuff like that happens, and we have to have empathy for both sides, because 9 times out of 10 that's not the choice that they wanted.
Yeah.
I was the BTS photographer for that documentary
Yeah.
that you're talking about. And one interesting thing that I noticed in the way that you made the documentary is you got everyone's perspective in there, right? You got the perspective of the parent, you got the perspective of like the husband, right? And everyone, just by like going deep within like the different members of the family and getting intimate with them and getting their perspectives, that's what makes the documentary even more powerful. So when you're going out there and you're filming a documentary, the best thing that you can do is you can interview people who are closely connected to whatever it is that you're documenting and getting as many points of views as possible.
I guess getting that conflict, right, is having the conflict of interest. Like, everyone has a different perspective, because if you have everyone saying the same thing, then it's like, well, what's the point of having all these multiple people, right? I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to friction.
Fiction. Oh boy.
Because I am making a sci-fi murder mystery, right?
Yes.
And there were so many challenges that I had to go through, especially right now on the pre-production stage that I am at.
Pre-production.
Yeah,
don't we love that?
Oh,
eh?
the best part of it all.
The scariest
jeez.
part, I guess. I don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe post is scary too. But
It's
yes.
all scary.
Post
It's
is
all
a bit-
scary.
I mean, I don't find post as scary because it's like.
Well, it might be scary if you messed up a few
Yeah.
times.
True. If you fucked up during the shoot, yes, it is
it's like,
scary.
oh, we missed a few shots here. But yeah, no, pre-production's hard, I guess.
Yeah.
If you're in that process for a
Yeah.
film, and
It's the scariest part to me because it's like at that point you don't even know if the film's gonna get made.
Yeah.
Like there's a for core one, because I was in block B, which was like 4 weeks until after greenlight you had to have the film.
oh wow, yeah.
So I was like the entire those 4 weeks, on my mind I was like, am I gonna even be able to make this film?
Exactly.
Like, is this just gonna like fall apart on me and then I'm not gonna be able to do anything and then I'll just be
Yeah.
a flop. Like
Yeah.
Like that's the fear that was always gnawing at me. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the fear with everything. I think,
Yeah.
especially, I mean, even more so, I would say with narrative films and actually, I don't know, documentaries is.
Documentary, I was more.
It's always it's so as we mentioned, it's so unpredictable. So I guess it's like you don't really know how things are gonna go.
I feel
but-
documentary
but
kind
there's
of
less variables.
evolves,
I would
right?
say. I said there's less variables.
Documentary, I was more scared going into post than I was for a fiction film.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they should both be. But I was scared
Yeah.
both times.
Yeah,
But fiction, I think documentary after I was like, do I have enough to make a film with this?
Yeah.
Is this interesting
Like,
enough?
Is this interesting enough
Yeah.
to actually be a film? Because I had no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
With the fiction, I at least had some idea how this was going to cut together.
Yeah, because there's structure there, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot more structure.
Pre-production is almost like making sure all your ducks are in a row, and I guess are you talking about pre-production as in like writing a script, or are you more so talking about like getting everything ready for the film?
So I feel once a script is done, it's very important that you find a good producer
Yes.
who's
Yes.
going to help you.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it all yourself.
And once you get a good producer, kind of as a director, your main goal should be like working with everyone on set. You don't like give all of your work to the producer and say,
Yeah.
hey, you take care of all of it, right? You kind of have to go in there and you have to basically juggle all these different balls. You have to
Yeah.
talk with
Yeah.
so many different people.
I think with as a director in pre-production, it really is like, I guess people don't really realize how much directing is just dealing with people. It's like people think of it as in, oh, you're directing, so you have this vision and that's all you do. But really what it is working with all the departments and collaborating. And it's really fun when it's working, but what it is like when you're a director in pre-production, it's talking to you're talking to your DOP saying this is the shots, this is the style we want. Same thing with production designer. It's a lot of collaboration. That's what it is. It's just you're the person that's collaborating with everybody.
Yeah.
And you're the one that makes those decisions when decisions needs to be made.
And like it's so important that you have the right people attached. Like honestly, like I'm pretty happy that my music video, because I directed a music video for Core 2. I'm pretty happy with how it came out the way it was, but pre-production was just hell on earth, dude. It was so like
Development hell.
Yeah, it was so terrible.
I mean,
like
I was worried for you the second it got greenlit because I'm like, oh, they gotta find like a hall now.
yeah, but no, we had to like completely redo the entire concept essentially.
Yeah.
Like basically the same kind of format was there.
That's
but,
the thing. Like
yeah.
with when you're a director, there's got to be compromises that
Yeah.
are made. Like you have a vision, and it's important to hold on to that vision. But
Yeah.
there's some battles that you're not gonna win.
Yeah, no,
and you have to know that when push comes to shove, you have to have a plan B.
Oh, absolutely. And
yeah, like locations.
yeah,
Locations,
no, and
hardest part.
yeah, there was like a major turning point in this music video production where I was like, okay, everything's going wrong. We have to take this different route, because my original producer got like terribly sick.
Oh,
and
wow.
I had to like just go right home. Like she could barely get involved with anything anymore. And the producer that I did end up getting, he was phenomenal, but like he wasn't a trained producer. He was just an editor.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, he didn't have the proper training, but I had no choice because, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles, right?
Yeah, and another thing with
Yeah.
with directing, to add on to that, is like, it is better to make a bad decision than no decision at all.
Yes, exactly.
Like I find a lot of
Exactly.
people get stuck in like, what should I do, and being indecisive, and not only like halts your production, but it also puts like a lack of confidence in your crew.
Yes.
Because if your director's not confident, like how are they going to be confident, right?
Yeah,
They need to look
exactly.
for someone up there that has, is leading the charge,
Mm-hmm.
and when they see that somebody is not able to make a decision, then they start doubting themselves as well.
Yeah.
In their commitment to the production.
Yeah, I like your point where you mentioned that the director has to be open to like improvising and making changes on the spot, because regardless of how well you plan a shoot, regardless of how everything seems perfect,
Murphy's
and then you
Law.
go,
Yeah.
everything seems perfect, and then you go to the shooting location, and then something bad's gonna
Yeah.
happen. As a director, you need to know how
But that's
to
the
work
fun part.
with that.
That's the fun
Yeah.
part, is that you never know what you're going to get when you get on set. Like we
Yeah.
mentioned with documentary, even narrative film, everything is unpredictable.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can know for sure is that things are not going to go
Exactly.
go to
There's
plan.
always something that's going to go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Just that's the main
Someone
thing you have
didn't
to
get
keep
to
in
set
mind.
because there's traffic, or
Yeah.
pizza's late, or the actor backed out last minute, stuff like that. You just have to be, I don't know how you prepare for some things, but you just have to be ready to combat that.
Yeah.
It's always.
I guess that's for everything, not just directing, but it's just the unpredictability of set is a big thing.
Those days were so stressful in the moment, but looking back, they were so
fun.
fun. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
like problem
so
solving.
crazy. It's like a 3-day long adventure through like
Yeah.
the just insanity.
Yeah.
You're super tired too
Oh,
after
yeah.
set.
Do you guys have
Absolutely
backups?
exhausted.
In
Yeah.
case someone doesn't end up coming, you should probably have a backup,
Oh, like,
right?
like
No.
an understudy or something?
No.
Like for what? You mean for crew
Yeah.
or for actors?
For crew.
For crew?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, like usually you have somebody that would step up. I would hope. But like if you lose
yeah.
like a key member, then you might not
Yeah.
hire that person again. I don't know.
my production designer was there for the first day, and then he got sick.
Oh,
so
no.
we had to get a set decorator on the spot.
Oh.
Basically, the second AC for the first day said, I'll help you guys set decorate for the next 2 days since your production designer isn't going to be around. I'm like, all right, fuck it, we ball, I guess, you know.
Yeah, like I'm pretty lucky that with my set not a lot went wrong.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing is you plan until you can't.
Yeah.
Like you make sure that everything is okay, and when you surround yourself with people that are very talented and they're passionate about what they do, you know, no one's doubting the abilities, then everything usually goes well. But I mean, you have to be ready to make decisions about when things don't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Or when they go wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's the film killer, is trying to stick to your vision
Yeah.
so hard that you just
Yes.
sort of screw yourself.
Yeah, you shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, I think it just makes for like bad films too, because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it comes in this process. The good film will come out of it. Like you have to like. It's not just gonna be what you wrote on the page on the screen. It's never gonna be that.
No.
Like
That's the interesting thing to add. Just I'll let you get back to it. But like that's the interesting thing I find when I'm a director is that I have a vision in pre-production and it's different when it's done.
Yeah.
And then you can't get that vision that you had in pre-production back.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like imagining because like.
Like think of Ashes, what your vision was initially. You can't even remember probably.
I mean, yeah, I knew it was completely different to what it became.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one of the scenes took place in a subway. And,
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
obviously not gonna happen
Yeah.
ever.
I honestly, like, I remember reading every single script that was pitched at the beginning of last semester.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You
And
didn't do that?
I didn't read every single
wrote
script.
I read
Yeah.
every
Oh,
single
there you
Yeah.
go. And
Hey,
he
there you
read
go.
it. He wrote it and had a red pen with him.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I remember reading your script, Jacob, for Ashes. And then when I saw the final version, I thought it, like, was pretty.
A lot of it was the same from the script, but I think it was just sort of the vision in my mind.
And what it
Like-
looks like.
Yeah, and what
Yeah.
it looks like is completely different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it's in a good way.
If you
Sure.
can nail
It
the
became a film
vibe,
that was real and
Yeah.
not something that was just imaginary.
if you can nail the vibe, I think that's the
More
that's
right.
that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I don't actually know if I never know if it's successful at the end, because I just when
That's-
I watch my film,
Yeah, you never know.
I
as-
don't even know.
That's
Yeah.
I guess that's the Achilles heel of being like a filmmaker is that you can never enjoy your own work. I guess.
Yeah.
You should also consider that we have many people on set, so as a director, we have to keep everyone's time in mind as well.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working on bigger productions and you're working with
Exactly.
actual professional actors, they're going to charge you per hour. So time is
Yeah.
money in those
Yeah.
situations. So you need to be able to really
Work on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need to be able to make changes
And no
at
one
the moment.
and no one likes no one. There's nothing people hate more than a director that isn't able to collaborate with people.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
and is an asshole
Yeah.
and is like, oh, you really want to change that? That's not happening.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
the
yeah.
mood of the director kind of reflects on the entire crew and the
That's true.
cast as well.
I guess that's the weight of being a director. Like, there's a lot of perks, but when you're on set, like, you're in charge of. Basically, people look to you as a leader, and that's you need to have those leadership qualities, because if like I mentioned earlier, but like if people doubt their leader, then why should they even follow
Yeah.
the leader? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a bad director just unravels everything. I mean, you don't want to work with anybody who's an asshole in any regard.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Exactly.
it's-
But especially someone in a position of power.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and key roles it's even worse.
Yeah.
But like regardless, it's like this is such like I guess a funny situation to be like a film set is such a funny situation to be in, because you're like you're just pointing a camera at something, you're doing all this to make these like shots, and it's
Yeah.
like you don't even know what it is gonna look like or what if it's gonna work at all.
Yeah,
but
you're
just
playing
sort of-
pretend. You're playing pretend.
It's like play work.
Yeah.
It's like-
Yeah.
and
But it
it's
gets
fun
so
'cause
high
it's-
stress.
Yeah, it's creative and it gets so high stress, but at the end of the day, it's just like a
It's just
camera that
it's
you
just
press
film.
record on.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but it's I guess
It's
like,
the
when
mindset
somebody-
when you
it's
get
the
on there.
vibe, though.
Yeah.
It is when people are
You have to-
there and they're nice and you're gelling with people and you're
Yeah.
working in as like a collective to a goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a
Somebody
team.
is-
It's a
if
team
somebody's,
effort.
like an asshole, like
Yeah.
you don't want to like it just ruins everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and as a director, you kind of have a power position on set.
Yeah.
Even though many people don't like to see it that way, as a director, at the end of the day, what you say is what goes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a good director, I feel, is someone who takes everyone's view into consideration.
Exactly.
Right? So instead of a director who doesn't let the DOP like frame a shot a particular way, or doesn't let anyone else in crew express themselves creatively. I feel like a good director should be able to really take in critique from everyone in the
Yeah.
crew and kind of let everyone express themselves creatively. And in a way, a director should watch everything unfold and give his critique to the particular person in the crew instead of being this bossy person on set and says,
yeah,
this is exactly how I want my shot to be.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I still am like I admire the work of our auteurs. They're called like it's the types of filmmakers who like what they say goes.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I know
like,
what you're talking about.
Are very stuck with who are very stuck to their vision, and that's
Your,
basically
civic
how
vision?
their
The
their
visionaries.
the visionaries, the people who like it's their vision, it's their film, and
David
everything
Lynch.
that they want. Well, debatable, but no, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's,
He's a good example.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
A lot of people follow
Yeah.
that work. The weird thing is, I don't think like when I'm coming up with a vision for a film, I don't really like to pull from like screen grabs or stuff like that. Like I don't look to like the films I've watched as inspiration. I guess.
Right.
Okay.
I don't even know what I look to. I guess that's not true completely. But like when I'm thinking of a look, I never think of like it's like this. I only do it's like this movie so people understand.
Yeah.
Like what it's sort of at.
I
Yeah.
feel to communicate with you, you have to say, well, it's kind of like this or that, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's the easiest way to communicate to people that you're trying to get on board.
Right.
But
I'm sure deep in my subconscious it's ripping off some.
well, that's the
some
thing,
film.
right? Like, what's the Vincent Van Gogh saying? Like, good artists copy and great artists steal or something.
Yeah.
But like everything, like you're never gonna find something that's completely original, right? Like
Of
there's always
course.
something that
There
you
is
might
always
not
something-
know that you ripped it
Yeah.
off, but you did, or something like
There's
that.
always something that alludes to something else
Yeah.
in any body of work that you see.
But it adding your own flair to it and whatnot.
Of course.
is
Yeah.
the part that
I feel
matters.
that's why it's very important to take critique from people from your crew.
Yeah.
Because when you come up with a story and you're directing, in your mind you think that this is the best story and this is the best.
I'd hope you
scene,
think that.
for example. Exactly. Yeah, but then you get critique from other people. Then you realize you find stuff that could improve your film, and that's going to benefit everyone who's working on the film, right? Because when I was making my script, my initial script was 50 pages long.
Oh, wow.
And I brought my crew together and I say, here's the script, it's 50 pages, and the first thing they tell me is, nope, we aren't doing that, we're bringing it down to 30.
No,
right?
I know
30,
exactly.
even that's pretty long.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I know exactly what you mean because I'm also trying to work on a film that I want to make this summer. And the first rough draft of it was 44 pages. And I knew as soon as I was done writing that, I knew, okay, this is too much. I got to figure out a way to tone it down because I do really want to make this summer. And if it's this long, I'm probably not going to be able to do that. So I've been sending it around to all these different people, like in my program, trying to get their opinion on how to do it. And I've eventually, like by myself, worked out a way I've taken like about 10 pages off of it. So now it's like around 34, and that's still pushing it a bit, but I'm still trying to work on it, I guess. But yeah.
Exactly. When I gave my script to a script editor, right? I gave it to him and I gave him full creative freedom to edit the script however he feels. And then I took his vision, I took his critique into consideration, and then I sat down with my producer and we had another discussion, and basically we had multiple people's points of views. We had multiple perspectives that went into the final draft of the script. It wasn't just my vision that went into it. So as a director, I could, if whatever I say goes, I could say, this is the script, we aren't making any more changes, we want to make this the movie and make it, right? But it's because I was open to getting my script brought down and all these changes be made into my film. It's turning out to be a better film. Right? So I have to be open to getting all these different type of critiques, and I feel that's very important for filmmakers.
I think that's part of it, is being a filmmaker or even being an artist, is that you have to be ready for people to critique your work, because when we create art, it's almost like we feel it's an extension of ourselves, and then when people don't like it, if we feel like they don't like us, and I think that's a lot of people have that pitfall, but it's almost like we have to realize that they're not attacking you. Art art, unfortunately, always is going to be critiqued. There's always going to be people that are going to be rating it,
Right.
or they're going to be ranking it, or they're going to be doing all that things. And it always ends up being a metric. But I mean, like that's the reason why we make it, is for people to say, oh, maybe I did enjoy it, or maybe I didn't, and maybe it wasn't for them, or maybe it was for them. I don't know. Is there anything you guys want to add to that?
It's very easy to get swept up in the sort of personal, like getting like personally hurt by crit.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's like you've worked so hard on this thing, like, and you to make it come to life, and you showed something, and they're like,
It's
this
all right.
is okay. It's like, well, I mean, I just did all this just for you to like,
Say that?
not even like it.
Yeah.
But it's like it's not even about that. It's just it's so like.
So you want to get better.
You just want it. They want you to get like people want you to get better. They want to see something that's entertaining, and when it's not in front of them, then you're doing it's just something's wrong, and
Yeah.
you need to know something's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also like you got to know the difference between good and bad crit.
Yeah.
Because some crit is just like.
It's
well, I
it
can't
doesn't
really.
it doesn't help. It's not helpful.
Yeah, and think about it this way: if you want to get your film onto a big screen one day, and if you want millions of people to watch your film, it's going to be critiqued by all sorts of people.
that's true.
And you're
There's
going to
something
get
called Letterbox, right, guys?
Oh yeah, right. I think I remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So I feel like getting critiqued while you're starting out in your filmmaking process, it's kind of getting you used to getting different kind of perspectives.
Getting your underbelly ready to be attacked, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you have to be ready for the knives to come at you, because they will.
You gotta be ready.
Yeah.
In photography, one thing that we do as photography students here at Sheridan is that anytime we shoot an image, we put it up on a board and we get that critiqued. And the goal of the critique is that we do not want the critique to go easy. We want everyone to point out something about the image, because again, as creatives, when we've created something that we feel proud of,
Yeah.
there are times that we feel like this is our best work.
Yeah.
But then we get the perspective from all these other creative minds, and then we realize there's so much room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the nice thing about. Also, I mean, like, it's bad, it's hurtful, because some people work in industries where it's like you do this and that, and then it's done and it's great. But when you work in an art form, or like an art industry, or anything like film or literature or anything like that, there's different ways that things can go, and different ways that people would have wanted it to go. And that's kind of, I guess that's the beauty of it, because you can kind of take it anywhere you want, and some people are going to like it, and some people aren't going to like it. Yeah, you have to be ready for that, I guess.
It's just a business, right?
Yeah.
It's just the industry.
It's crazy like that, I guess. It's just insane.
It's bonkers.
There's bad ways. I think there's definitely bad ways that people can critique people.
People can get mean. And
Yes.
That's where it gets kind of weird. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
know,
no
it's
need
also,
for
like,
it.
I think film can get very sort of like.
Nasty.
It can get real nasty.
Yeah.
Film gets real nasty, and it's also like a lot of like, I don't want to say not even like jealousy, but sort of just like, it's just they take it very personal.
Yeah.
When you're not like when people aren't like when you're not being, or they feel like they're not being utilized, or people feel like they're being like their work isn't like you're not like talking to them personally, or they don't have like such a big part in this film. They take it becomes a personal matter, and then it becomes like drama. And
Yeah.
people will just like sort of like, I'm sure like people have probably lost many friends on sets just because of just stuff like that. And it really is like, at the end of the day, it's just a film. Like we're just making a film here. It's not like
And we're students.
or-
We're
or-
students.
yeah,
There's
we're
no
students.
there's nothing.
When there's money on the line, I guess
yeah.
I can understand some broken friendships.
Yeah.
But like, and
We're all learning, and that's and some people may be farther ahead than others, and some people may be farther behind. But that at the end of the day, we are all students, and
Yes.
we're learning as much as everyone else.
And I do understand why people get so angry at people, because I said if there was money on the line, but there is money on the line.
Yeah.
Like especially with these films, it's like $3,000 budget, like 15, like it's not a ton of money for a film, but it's a lot of money than any of us have seen
Yeah.
that we've just put towards something like that. So when somebody comes in and they're just like just shitting all over it, and just like not even like bothering to have any respect for the set, and it gets hard to like have like good feelings for them as a person.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there are two different types of critiques, right? There's constructive critique, and then there's critique that just attacks you
It's
for no
just
particular
hateful,
reason,
right?
just hateful
Ad
critique.
hominem.
Yeah. So we need to be aware of what type of critique the person is giving us. and we get to choose what type of critique that we take in and what type of critique we choose to neglect, right? So if someone comes up to you and they say, I hate your lighting, ask them like, what is it that you hate about it? Right? And if they give you an actual a good explanation, for example, he says the lighting is too harsh on the subject, or the lighting you could have used a different color. That's constructive critique. So you can take that and you can work with it. But if someone just says, I hate the lighting because I hate you, there's no value in that. And just taking that into heart and taking that personally, it does not do you any good as a filmmaker. So choosing what type of critique you take in is a very important step in the process.
And choosing as a filmmaker what to engage in too, because sometimes it's just a waste of time to engage in conversation with people if it's nasty. But like I think that one of the funnest, funnest not a word. One of the most fun things I think as a filmmaker is talking to people after they see your film. I find it so fun because it's a perspective that you obviously don't have. Like when you're working on a film, you get so caught up in actually making it, you don't actually think about the actual impact it will have on people. And some people may say they don't like it, and some people may say they like it, and they can tell you why. And I think that's always really fun. That's why I think it's like it was really cool to do like the core screenings all together. It's because afterwards everyone could talk about, hey, I really liked this or that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's weird. It's weirder to me to get like very positive feedback than getting negative, because negative it's like, okay, of course
I expected that.
But like when somebody's like people were telling me after the doc, like, oh, your doc made me cry.
I did get that.
I'm like, really? Like I mean, I guess I can see that, but
is that a good thing?
I mean, in theory it is a good thing.
They felt
like,
emotion.
To me, it doesn't even register. Like I'm like, you just made you cry.
Because the thing is I guess that when you're making it, you become numb to the emotions that you're trying to convey, right? It's like you don't take that into account because you watch the cut maybe 60 times or something, right? And so for people that are viewing it for the first time, like I remember someone told me, where'd you find this subject when I did my core one? And I'm like, they're like, he's so interesting. I'm like, this is my grandfather. And he's like, oh really? I'm like, he's like, where? Like, I can't believe that you this is your grandfather. I'm like, I've known this guy. Like, it's like I've known him for my whole life.
Yeah, like this, the best stories are within your own circle.
Exactly.
Right?
But yeah, I also got that. Somebody told me that they cried, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like I didn't think that it would have that impact.
It just doesn't even register as something, like, because it doesn't register to me that people are reacting to my film, like, even when I'm watching on a big screen like that. I'm just like, well, there's my film up there and it's over. And that's all I think of it. It's not like I'm looking out for audience reaction of like, oh, once this, because I watch it, I cringe up, I tense up.
At the parts that you didn't feel you did the best.
There's so many of them where I'm just like, mess it up.
Yeah.
Because it looks the worst when you're watching it, and I just like, let it end, it's over. And when people come and say like, oh, I love that was really good, I'm like, was it really?
100%.
I think you're joking.
No, absolutely. No, I whenever I see that, like, a film of mine being shown in front of a bunch of people, I always feel like a certain level of uncomfortability, just because while it is something that I have to obviously work up to getting used to, I am very scared of getting critiqued.
Well, it's like you're opening up a part of yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's something that you worked on. It's something I hope you care about. It's like it's difficult, right? Because you want people to enjoy it.
Of course, but I also do want to know, like, if there's something that I can improve on, like, have at it. Let me know, but don't be fucking mean to me about it,
Well, the good thing is usually people aren't. I don't know. Is that a good thing that people aren't mean to your face? I don't know.
It depends on the type. It depends on the type of critique.
I would respect it more than people talking behind my back, I think. But I don't know.
Wait, what?
Teach your own. I'd rather you tell me you didn't like it in front of my face than behind my back.
Than just talking behind your back.
I felt it less with Ashes when I was making Ashes, because it felt like, because this was the biggest crew I've worked with up to that point. It felt less about like I still got that feeling, but when people tell me it's good, it was like I was always like, oh yeah, that was this crew member, yeah, they, because it feels like more as like, I don't know how to put it. It's like,
you're saying that it's not always directly
it's not always
your
like,
responsibility or something?
It's not even my responsibility. I don't even feel like, I feel like, okay, well, if you like this film, it's appreciation for the entire crew, and not sort of just like your personal feelings on the
Yeah.
film.
If I don't like a film, I don't say, hey, that's a bad film.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it's like the crew put in a lot of effort into the film, and maybe it didn't work out the way they expected. Right?
Yeah.
But it's not a bad film. It's just a film that didn't work
It's
out.
a film that you didn't enjoy. It's a film that didn't work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you, as directors, because all of you guys have directed stuff before. I've never directed a film, but I'm directing one in the future. Have you ever faced conflict between you as a director and the vision of someone in your crew? And
Oh,
there's
okay.
a
Like working with
contradiction.
other people?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Like, good conflict or bad conflict?
Any type of conflict.
Conflicts.
yeah.
I would have to think about that.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, like, the way I work is that I try to make it so, like, I'm not saying that I, like, let people take over and run amok and, like, destroy my vision, but I definitely try to work with people. Like, I think that people are going to be more happy when they feel like their vision is being said, especially when you're working with, like, the key members. Is
Yeah.
like the reason why you have them on your team is you want to have their perspective. Is you want them to add their own, like, style. Like, I'm not the best with certain things, so that's why you have them on board. But
Yeah.
conflict, that's a good question. I don't know. Does someone else have a great example?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it more comes down to nerves with me because I've never, like, throughout my, I guess, a lot of my life, I've been very introverted. I've been a very introverted person, and, like, there's been times when I haven't been out of my shell and somebody's sort of taken over for me, and I realize in the moment, like, I'm being taken over now. Like, somebody's, like, doing it for me, but
Mhm.
but I can't even just break out of my shell to even, like, work on that. And I think I've gotten a lot better at that sort of process, but it can feel like somebody's taking over your vision,
Yeah.
but you can't even say anything because you're just so locked in, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't really have anything, like, specific in terms of. I mean, sure, like, I've had the feeling that people are trying to take over, you know, before, and, like, that wasn't always necessarily the case. They were just, like, doing their job and trying to help and stuff. But yeah, I've had it a few times where, like, people, like, kind of, like like they'll direct the actors instead of me. Like, they'll jump in and kind of tell the actors what to do when I'm supposed to be the one to, you know, relay the message to them. And that's when I don't really like, you know, that's when I've had some issues before. When people are like doing my job for me.
Okay,
And,
okay.
like, taking over in that sense. That's like, I've had some of those experiences in the past, which, you know, didn't really sit right with me. But, you know,
It happens on a film set.
Yeah,
right?
it can happen. Yeah,
Especially when you're
sure.
working on big sets. As a director,
Yeah.
you got to work with different type of people,
Yeah.
right? So one thing that comes with being a leader is being able to, you know, say, overcome these type of challenges that happens on set,
Right.
So I personally feel that as a director, everyone has a different vision. Like, if I had one script and if I gave it to all three of you, we would come up with three completely different looking scripts,
Yeah.
different looking films, right? But if I was directing a film, I would want to know if the crew and I am on the same pace.
Yeah.
Especially in the pre-production process. We sit down and make sure everyone just has a vision as to what we're going to make.
That is cohesive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get the visions to align with the vision of the director and
Yeah.
then move forward
Yeah,
from there.
I like to add to, like, conflicts. I think the biggest, like, I don't think I've had many really big conflicts. I think most of the time it's just making sure that everyone's on the same page when it comes to, like, having a vision. Like, sometimes people bring different ideas to the table and you have to say, no, that's not really what I wanted, but I like that idea. And, you know, let's do it this way because I think that will work. But I don't think I've had many, like, crazy because most of the time when people work with you, they have respect for you as a director. And they understand that, you know, it's your vision, and they just want to help you make that vision happen.
I think, honestly, like, the biggest conflicts, or it's not even conflict, it's just stuff that, like a lot of people will be, like, it'll be complaints about their own part of the work, I guess, and then it sort of becomes sort of like a general complaint about the entire set.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than coming off a long set and somebody's already shitting on it. Like we're walking off set and they're like, that was fucking garbage. And I'm like, we just spent the entire day doing this.
Yeah, it's
hard.
like 12 hours.
And I don't want to hear like I didn't like it, because it's like
in front of the director is crazy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one person being that way could basically spoil the mood of everyone.
It's just a mood
right?
kill for the night, and then the next day it's like, oh, you know.
And the biggest thing for me is that I'm always hearing stuff, and I'm sure you guys can relate. Like I'm always hearing like tons of like shit talking in the program in general, you know, and it always boils down to like one person didn't agree with the other person about something with the shoot, or there's something with like underlying beef between two people that doesn't even have to do with the shoot, you know?
To add to that, like most of it, I think it really comes to just people's inexperience with working on a film set and working with other people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people don't respect each other's roles and what they're supposed to do on a film, and oftentimes, you know, people brush shoulders because they're not used to doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that the more that you do it, the more that you understand. You know, when it's the first time people, you know, as a director, you're working with an AD. It's definitely, it's like, oh my God, somebody's able to tell me that I only have 5 minutes left to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to learn that they want you to be on time as much as you do.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. Like I wouldn't say that's conflict, but I mean, when you're first learning how to navigate working like that, it's definitely, it's like a culture shock, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like most of the time we're used to just being like, we're our own internal clock, right?
Yeah. Well, like I think because the thing was Core 2, like as much as we prepared for this for the first 2 years of college, it's sort of like this was the first time.
Yeah, it's a flight test.
Like,
This
is like the first time we're actually going to be working on a set as a group. Everyone's got to actually do their role, or this thing's not going to get made.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that's like, because with documentary, even that you could just like, if you just show up to the location and set up a camera, you can sort of, if you really don't care, get your way through it. But like, this was the first time people really had to come out and like do, or it was just gonna go. Film was just gonna go underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's very important to know that regardless of what role you play on a particular film, your role is very important.
Oh yeah.
I feel like in a film, there's an obvious hierarchy, right? But the director's vision is what is the most important vision, and then he directs everyone else, but everyone plays an important part. Like I get called often to sets to be a BTS photographer, right? And I know that even a small role like being a BTS photographer, or even being someone who does catering, for example, it's all very important. It's important. So I feel like doing your job seriously and knowing that regardless of what you are in the crew, you are having a very big role in the making of the film. A very important role is very important.
That's a good point. You don't want to sell yourself short, because then there becomes animosity.
Yeah.
That like, oh, this director, he doesn't respect me because I'm just the PA on set. And when 9 times out of 10 they're happy for you to be there.
Yeah.
Because they're helping, you know, you make your film, or you're helping them make their film.
There's nothing more exciting than just seeing everybody there on the set day. Like, just like...
Oh, yeah, all
like,
these people are for
all
me?
These people are,
Yeah,
are here.
it's...
Like, I'm directing it. Because that was the thing on the first day of Ash, because I've never worked on a set that big.
Yeah.
And when everyone got there, like, it was like, all these people, I'm, like... They're all here to do this
to work on your story.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me.
It's a very surreal feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And then it hits you with like a truck, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, having a bunch of creatives help you make your vision come to life, it is really something that we should honor as directors, right? Having a bunch of people
feel
to come
very
together to
indebted
help
to them.
you.
You feel like, oh shit, I need to help them now.
I mean, that's how it is, right? I'm not a film student, but I help so many film students on their sets.
Yeah.
When I need people on my sets, they help me.
Exactly.
Right? It's everyone helps everyone.
It's an
everyone
economy.
grows. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just is. You got to make these sort of relationships and
That hopefully are lifelong.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, because it's.
You don't want to burn bridges.
Not
Not at this age.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crew.
Working with people on Core 2 were just like, it was so amazing, because it's like you see how these people work, and sometimes you see people that you maybe not work with again.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see like people that are just really passionate about what they do, and people who really bring it every day, even if you're doing 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
They'll bring it every day, and they'll make it happen, and that's what is good. Like,
absolutely.
you just got to keep those people, because they're just so they really they're there for your cause, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly.
It's true.
Yeah, and that's what I feel is that the connections that you make here in college, they are gonna be your future crew,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's very important to
Or maybe
network.
your future boss.
Maybe a future boss as
Exactly.
well. Exactly. So go out there, work with a bunch of people, and try to form like healthy connections with
Yeah.
everyone you're working
Oh,
with,
yeah.
because you have no idea how one random person you meet could like
And that's the
give
thing.
you the
like,
biggest project
we're
ever.
we're in film, right? We're such a collaborative thing. Like if we were in like, let's say like, I don't know, like a random program, like I don't know, biology. Like what are the odds that you're actually going to be working together? But like
Yeah.
when you're in film, I mean, like when we get out and we graduate, the people that are probably going to be referencing you are probably your classmates.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
stuff like that is important.
Yeah, and you never know how helping someone is going to come back and help you.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was doing some photography for the students in the interaction design program.
Yeah.
And now they are helping me with VFX.
Oh, there
for the
you
film
go.
that I'm working. Like it all just came together. It's
Yeah.
like you help someone and you never know how they could help you back. But again, you need to help them without having
Oh, yeah.
anything in mind, right? Help them
Just-
for the sake of helping them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. You know, like I think I've kind of experienced something similar, you know, to that. Like I've helped one person on one thing and they in turn helped me on the other thing, you know? Yeah.
But what about people who don't have a crew, people who aren't part
People that
of
are
college
looking
and
for-
university? If
people
they
that
want
are
to make a
looking for
film, how do they make a film?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I mean, when I was making my films, I used my family.
Yeah.
They helped out with me.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
And I mean, like, you meet people. I mean, college is a great space. I think, like, I mean, as much as we learn about film, I think the best thing about college, at least film school, like, is that you network with people and you meet so many people and you get chances to fail without there being actual stakes to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we can, make mistakes on set and we're not going to get fired kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like we all understand that everyone is learning and that's part of the process. But I mean, like you can go out there and like, I know there's like Facebook groups that you can go out to and reach out and meet people that are like-minded.
For sure.
If you want to find people and
Yeah.
you don't know anyone that's in film, but
Yeah.
It all just starts with your friends. Like
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
like as long as you have friends that like care about you and want to support you in your endeavors, even if they know nothing about film.
Yeah.
If
It's
they're-
fun.
If they'll
It's
show
fun.
up for it, then they're a friend, and that's how you
Yeah.
you just get started on it. It's
Yeah.
just holding a video.
Exactly.
It's holding a camera.
like Video Corner.
And it
Like
does
you.
and it doesn't have to be anything like crazy, you know. It doesn't have to be anything like
Just get your foot in
really
the door.
big and like insane. Like it can just be like a small thing, you know, to do. Like you film like a small like sequence of a man and a woman talking in a dining area in someone's home or something, and you can literally make a film based on whatever conversation.
light it,
they
direct
have.
it, shoot it, and edit it,
Yeah.
and then do it. That
Everybody's first film is two
Yeah.
people talking in a room.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, you can do more.
Not
than that,
mine,
but,
not mine. Mine's a sci-fi murder mystery.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you can learn how to master something like that, then
Yeah.
yeah,
for
Yeah.
sure.
it's only up from there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Find artists, find your friends,
Yeah.
bring them all together, create something. Doesn't have to be the best.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like analysis paralysis really stops people from
Yeah.
going there and achieving, right?
Yeah,
You
for
want
sure.
everything to be the best even before you go
I
out
think
there
the
and
biggest
start.
thing is that like when you're starting out as an artist is like you need to learn how to walk before you can run.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Like I know I've seen a lot of people in first year try to do things that they see in Hollywood or try to do things that
Yes.
are
Yeah.
too much, and it's like just be simple.
Yeah.
Have a simple story and just make it really good, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
like a simple premise or however you shoot it or whatever. Like just do simple and make that simple really good, and then as you begin to get better, then you can try more of the crazier stuff.
Yeah, so I saw this video on YouTube where it says if a massive Hollywood producer comes to you tomorrow and says, I have $10 million, we're gonna make a film, I'm willing to give you this money. Show me what you have. Many people don't have it. It's because they're always sitting there and like overthinking what it
Yeah.
is that they're gonna film, that they never end up making their first film.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I feel don't overthink it. Just go out there and do
Mhm.
it. No one knows. No
Yeah,
one
I
has a
didn't
plan.
know anything like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. I definitely agree with that sort of walk before you can, or run, I guess.
Walk before you can run,
Yeah,
or whatever.
you
It's
say.
basically just saying like learn the basics before you go to
Yeah.
the more crazier stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like so hard to just start and try and do like something.
Well, yeah, I
like,
remember seeing those reading all those pitches, all those scripts. A lot of people, like, that were just like sort of, I don't know. They went for things that was like, I could like the second I read it, I'm like, unfortunately, you're probably not gonna get picked because like,
Yeah.
and I already tell it's like you want this, this, and this. You want to go here. You want all this extras like stunts. It's like,
Yeah.
this isn't like. You don't even. This is the first time we're doing this. You need to like chill a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be willing to work for free. I feel that is also something very
Yeah,
important.
definitely.
Right?
You get pizza though.
Yeah, you get pizza. See, actually, any good production has
Yeah.
catering in there, right?
Maybe not pizza, but give your crew something other than pizza. Not everyone wants pizza all the time.
Yeah.
We just had we had pizza all 3 days.
Oh,
for
wow.
my thing, yeah.
Oh wow, different pizza places at least.
I don't know. I can't remember. Probably not. I don't know.
Honestly, pizza is the best.
It's a
choice
good-
of
it's a
food.
good
If
choice.
you
It's a
if you
good
don't have
choice,
a
but
lot of
it's-
money to put into production,
No, yeah,
then
yeah.
get
If you're on a
pizza.
budget, pizza. But it's like every production is pizza. It's always pizza.
Yeah, I
I
know.
start hating pizza.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If
Everyone
you
loves
work
pizza.
on film sets, you're gonna be eating a lot of pizza.
I know
That's
for
true.
my documentary we got Subway. So that was
Okay.
interesting,
Catering, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Catering is a whole different.
Yeah.
It's also very important though.
That's more of a producing thing, but yeah.
I think honestly, the most important thing is to
Keep your crew happy.
Keep your crew happy.
Keep your crew happy.
And usually that comes with having a different meal every day. I guess.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, it's a crunch. And,
Yeah,
like,
no,
and
it's
I don't
hard.
blame anybody, especially at our level.
Yeah.
Like, bringing the same food every day, because it's like,
You know what,
at this point, you're like, we don't even have money to, like, have, like...
I find it
basic
so
food.
interesting that film is that way because like there's no other job that really like supplies their own food to their their
Yeah.
employees.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if you think of something like they don't like you could pull 12-hour days on like,
An
I'm gonna
engineering
say
firm.
or something.
Yeah.
Like you can pull 12-hour days. I'm gonna use an example of landscaping. You can pull a 12-hour day and they're not gonna give you food. But at film, it's like you get so much more benefits. I don't know why that's the, I don't know what the word is. That's the, what am I trying to say? The
nature.
Yeah, the way that it is.
See, you
But,
can't be making your best work on an empty stomach.
No, that's for sure.
Right?
That's for sure.
Mm.
That's why it's such a interesting collaborative
Yeah.
process, because like everything's sort of like we're working together, and that's why I think even if they aren't working for free, it feels like you're working, like I'm sending you through this sort of whole process and I'm sort of directing it, and as an apology for how crazy this is gonna get, here's some food. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, and also people are working for you for free, right? Especially like if it's a union film, then obviously you got to pay everyone. But if it's a film where you're working with your friends and you're working with everyone else, just for the fact that they're coming and helping you, and just for the fact that they're willing to collaborate with you,
Yeah.
the least that
Yeah.
you can do is give them something good to
Of
eat.
course.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
give
And
them some good food.
Yeah.
Well,
It's hard.
yeah. And see, this was an amazing conversation. I'm so
Yeah.
happy you guys showed up.
Yeah.
Right? I'm so happy you guys showed up.
we'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this
maybe
is
maybe we'll
great.
have some like a bigger like an actual structured like what do we want to talk about
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
episode?
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
The
just like
thing
a
is, we
weird-
had nothing planned today.
Yeah,
Like,
we-
the only thing I had planned was me and this dude.
We just showed up and we
Yeah,
started
these two
talking.
just showed up. And we were like, you know what? The more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a very good episode. We spoke about so much today.
Yeah, we talked about documentaries
Talk
and
about everything.
We talked about the whole array of topics with film. We just kept talking. Yep.
Okay, so I feel a good way to end this is, what's one piece of advice that you will give to a budding filmmaker? Okay, let's start
like a
with-
emerging filmmaker?
Yeah, an emerging
Oh, okay.
filmmaker. Someone who's
Aspiring
going
filmmaker.
to make his first
Like
film.
somebody that hasn't made a film before?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh wow, I feel like I've given a lot of advice already.
Yeah,
but like,
okay.
what's the biggest piece of advice? Okay, let me
Stay
think.
away.
Okay.
Don't go into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wanna
Why don't you go for one?
If
Me?
you want to make money.
Yeah, have money. There you go. No, I think the best way to go is to start small. Like I said before, like you're not making some crazy Martin Scorsese level feature film. Like you really gotta just like literally a 5-minute short is what like you should start on. You know, like two people talking in a dining room. That's something. Like pick a setting that you can use. Like if it's your home, or maybe you're friends with somebody who runs a restaurant, something like that, or like somebody who will let you use their space, and then build kind of a story around that. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can literally just be two characters talking about something. And then just go from there. Once you've made that, try to do something a little bit bigger, something a little bit more creatively, elaborate. Like, I don't know, like bigger. Like just like go step by step, right? Start small, and then eventually, like once you get more skilled, once you get more experience, then try to do something a bit more than what you did before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I know this is what all the directors say in every single interview, but it's like you just have to go out there and do it. Is the thing. You just like, and even if it like you're gonna grab your phone and you're gonna film whatever and you're gonna edit it together and it's gonna be garbage, and it'll probably be garbage every single time.
It'll be garbage
like,
for the first few.
Yeah, it'll be garbage for a while. But like the point is that you went out there and you tried, and you actually do care about what you're doing. Like as long as you go out there and like really try and care and grab anybody who will even like get desperate. I don't know.
Get your dad.
Like anybody, and just like film them doing whatever. I mean that's good enough. I mean all you just have to have that need and that want to sort of be in this, like not even in the industry, but just be an artist and sort of work with people and just film anything, and then you can do it from there. I mean, you just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it all your life, and if you never see success, then at least
you grew along the way.
Yeah, hopefully you had fun.
You probably had fun doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, it was fun.
Yeah.
Even if you don't make a lot of money, then.
I mean, to add on to Jacob, like I definitely agree with that. Like that was kind of what I was gonna say. It's like it's like a muscle, right? You have to work it out, and you have to get it up to speed. Like if you don't build on the skills that you don't have, then you're not gonna be able to do stuff that you see in the movies. But also, I think just like let your passions guide you where you want to go, I think is the biggest thing. Like do things that excite you, do things that are get you out of bed and make you want to actually film, and tell the stories that, like I said, haven't been told yet. Is a big thing as well. And be uniquely yourself, I guess.
Okay, one piece of advice that I have for all upcoming filmmakers is when you go out there and you want to make your first film, you don't need the most expensive equipment to make your own film. You can use your phone, right? You don't need to have a crew of 20 to 30 people in your set to make a film. You can make a solo film. It's not going to be the best, but you can still put something out there. Yeah. Putting stuff out there is way better than just
sitting there and wallowing and saying, "Man, I wish I had an RE camera." Yeah,
I wish I had a 20 people crew to make my first film. Yeah. You and your friends is way more than enough to make a film. Yeah. Start somewhere, and then as you keep making films, then you can think of ways in which you can expand it. Even when it comes to YouTube, they say don't even think about getting 1,000 subscribers until you've put out at least 100 videos, right?
Yeah.
So just go out there, put stuff, and just see where the journey takes you.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And hopefully you have fun along the journey. I mean, I guess that's why most people get into it, right? It's fun.
Well, it's all about the fun you have doing it. I mean, to me, I don't even see success in my future at all. I see groveling on the street, but we'll see.
I hope to see a little bit of success.
Enough to get by.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do hope it's enough to get by.
Yeah.
I think everyone hopes it's enough to get by.
Yeah. I just want to get successful enough to the point where I can just create and just have fun creating. That's about it.
As long as I
That's
got
the dream.
I can really just make stuff with, like a little bit of money to just work with.
Yeah.
Then I'll be happy.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's the first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
And
like
if
and
you guys,
subscribe,
do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.